Hey guys, this is Mauisnake, and today I'm going to be going over the uman edshot machine, ScreaM. So ScreaM is 23 and playing on EnvyUs currently. He's the highest rated player on his team for the year. RPK also did very well this year, so did Happy. XMS and Sixer are kind of holding their own on the team. Could expect a little more out of them, but they're getting through the qualifiers, they're making it to the lands. But yeah, so ScreaM for the year, 64.7% headshot percentage, absolutely insane. Not the craziest kill-death ratio, but he's playing a lot of good teams. So these numbers are against pretty good competition. They do play a lot of qualifiers, which can inflate their numbers just a little bit, but they do end up making it to a lot of lands. And in doing so, they are playing a lot of professional and really Tier 1, Tier 2 teams. So without further ado, here we go. So today I'm going to be going over ScreaM playing against OpTic Gaming, and this was in the semifinals, or I guess basically to determine who would make it to the qualifier. This is map 1. Pretty sure EnvyUs 2-0'd them in this game, but yeah, let's get to it. So pistol round. This is pretty important game, obviously. Whoever wins this BO3 is going to make it to the major, and yeah, here we go. I also chose Inferno because it's one of ScreaM's better maps, and it's one of EnvyUs' best maps as well. So definitely a map they've had a lot of success on. You get to really see how he works his magic on this map. So pistol round, he's kind of the second in here, just kind of moving forward with his team. Doesn't have to really support all too much. He's going to be taking care of just the shooting aspect of this round, and kind of runs across there, tries to help his teammate out of banana. Now there's a little bit of a bait and switch going on here with him and Happy. So Happy, of course, would be the bait on this, and ScreaM is the bait, and Happy is the baiter actually. So yeah, just kind of interesting stuff. Finds a nice headshot there towards banana, his first kill of the round, and another one tap there to get Magisk, and that's going to be the pistol round for them. So what we could get from that round, that ScreaM's kind of mobile on the pistol. He kind of gets to do whatever he wants on a lot of rounds, and he gets a lot of freedom from this EnvyUs squad. Happy is not afraid to let ScreaM kind of just do what he wants to do. It kind of felt like with that crossfire setup that he should have been holding CT there, but because another one of his players was moving into that water position, the grill area, that was kind of covering the area that ScreaM was supposed to be covering earlier, so that was totally fine. So anti-eco, they're just going to be holding pretty far back here. ScreaM, since he got the only AK for the team, is going to be just spamming the apartments out. I'm going to lower the volume just a little bit, actually. So his teammates are going to be clearing that out, and this round he's kind of playing a little farther back, just a little kind of playing reserve. Doesn't really have to get anything for his team here. And, I mean, you could kind of let the round just evolve on its own. And, they're actually going to send ScreaM to do the entering here, given that he has the AK. You kind of would think that the entry would be one of the Mac 10s. However, just that angle in particular, you really would want to trust an AK more than any other gun to take that fight. It's a very clean fight. Pretty clean peek. I mean, you can just aim at headshot level and strafe out. And okay, so a pretty nice smoke there for OpTic is going to actually block them, but they just flashed through it and actually pushed through. And ScreaM kind of had to guess this round quite a bit of where the opponents were through the smoke. Was able to find one kill, but wasn't able to find the first guy towards CT. That's pretty difficult stuff. Nothing. Not gonna fault him for that or anything like that. But yeah, he actually was kind of the entry there, and that's not something you'd really expect from a guy who has one of the few rifles in the round. But given his positioning, I don't think EnvyUs really has a very strict guideline for who should go first there, or who should be baiting. I mean, we always know Happy's going to be in the back, but ScreaM, on the other hand, is ready to take the fight to the opponents, even though he does have one of the better guns in the round. He had the best gun in the round, actually. Okay, so this should be, I mean, EnvyUs could suspect some kind of a little bit of a force buy here, given that OpTic didn't have much armor on most of their players, so they could be expecting another pistol buy. But it looks like the OpTic members are actually going to be saving a little more than usual, so they didn't do a full force buy in the previous round, and that's because Inferno is one of those maps where it's really important to have full utility. And yeah, ScreaM just doing kind of the same passive default that he did in the previous round, not going to see anything, and his teammates are just going to wipe everyone out. So nothing really too much there. But yeah, now as you can see on the OpTic side of things, not really an OpTic demo review or anything per se, but I mean you can see that they're getting all of their utility that they want. Everyone is getting full nades, full utility. Surprisingly, they didn't save anyone. No one saved for a kit actually, which is a little surprising. But Alu even able to get head armor on his op. But yeah, that's kind of just what you want from Inferno. CT said you just want that full utility. Okay, so this is going to be ScreaM's normal route. When ScreaM works A on, or a default on this map, he usually is one of the people that's clearing bracket. Sometimes he actually ends up clearing it by himself, and I've watched a few ScreaM demos already prior to this demo review. So I've seen his tactic for moving up quite a bit and how he plays with teammates as well. And yeah, oddly enough there, RPK I think went before the nades were, or I think Alu might have hit actually a blind headshot there. But now ScreaM kind of finds himself in the CT position. Pretty tough spot to clutch from, so let's see how he actually tries to play this. There could be a lot of decisions here. So really just moving around. Not going to repeat the same angle, it looks like twice. Oddly was able to get himself out of that situation, and now he's going to play kind of a patient game. Without much utility here, it's really hard to breach the A bomb site. I'm pretty sure he's going to end up taking the duel though, but yeah, this is something where he definitely just wants a pick to come his way, as opposed to really trying to like expose himself, because this is really hard. And yeah, Alu already spotting him. That's probably going to do it for the round. Yeah. But really good attempt there. It's a shame that his teammates were so taken out so easily in the bracket positions. But yeah, a pretty interesting clutching style. Just kind of waiting. Not really. I'm a little surprised he didn't try to go up to B after he got that one kill, because then he should know that there's only one more player towards the B bomb site. But it's going to be a really fast B take here, and ScreaM is not afraid to get his hands dirty on these rounds. Just going to run out forward, and going to be the hard entry on that round. Not able to get anything done with his team, but yeah, you can see that ScreaM can put up pretty insane numbers, as he does in this game, despite being the first in entry in quite a few rounds. So he's going to be playing super aggressively, and yeah, ScreaM gets a lot of freedom on this team too. I'd say the players with the most freedom are definitely Happy and ScreaM. RPK, the tank, generally just kind of holds his spots. On CT he can get kind of aggressive, but XMS and Sixer sometimes moves around with the op a bit, but I think it's more just whatever Happy tells him to do. It doesn't seem like he has the freedom in a round to just go wherever he wants, whenever he wants. But ScreaM and Happy and sometimes RPK just kind of get to do whatever they feel like a lot of the time. Okay, so kind of just an eco round, and ScreaM just has the bomb here, just trying to get it down, doing it whatever it takes to get it down, and yeah, he's able to get it down. That should already be kind of a success for the round. If they can get anything more, just a couple kills, that would really help out the economy. But regardless, that's gonna do it for ScreaM in that one, and we're gonna see another gun round here. So ScreaM actually goes pretty insane in this game. Kind of I'd say kind of an okay start, but okay, really gets taken out heavily there. That was a pretty cool setup, honestly, by OpTic. Not something you'd normally see. A nade would totally destroy that, but not many people just nade into boiler that fast. So I think they got a bomb plant down. Yeah, okay, but they were not able to win the round without ScreaM there. So this round looks like they're going to be taking things just a little slower. They've kind of been running into OpTic's utility. And just kind of pushing through a smoke there. I think they used a flashbang also to help that push out, but yeah, ScreaM is just... I mean, he's pretty exciting to watch, honestly. He's probably he's definitely the most exciting that I have covered for this series so far. So, get a pick and fall off. This is definitely more of a call from Happy. So, and the T side is predicated on Happy's calls. Something that I've noticed in the past, and if you watched Thorin's Nobody Envies EnvyUs video, that's a report. That's one of the videos that I helped him on a little bit with some research content. But yeah, the way that Happy calls sometimes can be really kind of awkward and strange, but in some reason in qualifiers, he calls a lot more straightforward and makes really just solid reads on the opponents, and they just work things particularly well. So they're playing just a really solid game right now. They went for some more map control towards A, and that actually is causing Magisk now to have to rotate back from B. He was going to be like an A rotator there. I think he's kind of playing the arch position for the most part. And now they're just going to do a simple B exec. And that's going to probably be pretty successful given that there's only one member of OpTic here. Alu in this spot. It is a pretty good spot for an Op to B. And he's actually able to find 2, which is pretty impressive stuff. But yeah, that's just some really good calls, honestly. And now, ScreaM is going to play the first oranges position in a retake. This is not always... That's not always the greatest spot, given that construction... If you get flashed and anyone peeks you from construction, you're just going to die. But with his teammates in the positions that they were, it was very easy for everyone to kind of trade out each other there, use kind of crossfires. I would say that a better position, usually with a 3-man setup, is one kind of on-site, new box, emo... could even be second oranges. One guy towards banana and one towards water. That's usually the setup that you're going to see in post plants from a lot of teams. And yeah, as ScreaM sits behind the smoke, I'll kind of show you guys what I mean. So kind of a guy here, kind of a guy here, and a guy here. And that allows players to look kind of just all over and cover each other really well, adequately. Spot. So this is also EnvyUs' kind of default banana take. They are able to... They use a couple mollies, smoke grenades, and they're just going to move forward here. And they really like flashing through smokes like this. It's pretty aggressive stuff coming out from them. And yeah, they're just kind of really taking their game to OpTic. Even though it wasn't giving them, I'd say, the most success in the earlier rounds, they really don't mind that and are willing to just stick to whatever their game plan is and not let the failure in the previous rounds get into their heads. Now ScreaM's going to be playing behind new box. Really strong position for pretty much any situation in B. Just being able to peek on one side than the other is always really can be really advantageous. But the double mollies are going to really hurt his probabilities of success there. But able to get that one kill almost helps his teammate XMS close out the round there. The thing with B retakes is if the other team has, I'd say, 2 mollies, it's nearly impossible to hold it if they know how to use them correctly. They double mollied new box there, which was a little bit inefficient, but ScreaM did choose a really good spot. If they molly, usually if they molly just one side of new box, you can kind of peek on the other side, but they actually double mollied him, which was really surprising. And yeah, they're just going to be going to this B take again. We'll look at the utility usage a little more closely here. So they actually molly here and here. So they molly the sandbag position and the corner, and they actually are the ones throwing this smoke up sometimes, I think. Actually, they didn't. No, they didn't throw it this round, but they're really willing to flash through the smokes, and just if they have a really good flash and they trust it, and they have their Molotovs, it's really hard for any CT presence here. I think whoever was playing here, I think it was a Mixwell. He was kind of playing one of the only spots that was available in this whole area, and he just got fully blind. He was just looking into a wall, trying to hide in a smoke, and ScreaM was able to take him down. So ScreaM walks out there, right into the crosshair of Alu. I'm a little surprised he didn't jiggle it, given that that's such a common angle for ops to hold from, but his team was able to close the round out regardless. Okay, so that's a pretty good flashbang that is supposed to counter any kind of mid push, as you see there. I don't think his team was able to actually capitalize off of it, but it's nice to see that they have procedures to counter any kind of play like that. Okay, probably gonna be seeing a timeout from OpTic here. Yep, OpTic gaming timeout. But yeah, even from that position, ScreaM has a way to aid his team when nothing is going on his portion of the map. All mid. So EnvyUs have a couple different defaults. They have their heavy B-centric default and they have their A-centric default. They also have a more passive setup as well, which I'm pretty sure came out in the previous round. But yeah, this is going to be the A default, and yeah, ScreaM just always smokes to the side there. Yeah, it lands to block off. It just gives them some arch control. It doesn't block off so that they can get bracket control. They get a little greedy with the nade, and it gives them a little more control. And it's one of the reasons EnvyUs actually can get more space than other teams. So just kind of to talk about this, that smoke right there is going to allow them. A lot of teams will smoke right here, and this will give you bracket control. But from bracket control, you really don't always have the most space or the most options from this position, as they can still hold you back in that area, and you're kind of just confined to these positions over here. You might have apartments also, so you might have all of this space that I've highlighted, but with the smoke that EnvyUs throw right here, they're actually able to take all of this control, and that just really increases the amount of options your team has. So just kind of the way that Happy designed these strats, or the teams come about them, really just kind of brings just more options to their team. Being able to get into CT there just allows them so much more control of the map, and it gives the opposing team a lot more to think about when holding. And just great ScreaM one taps there. Not going for the burst, just gonna go for some quick taps, and EnvyUs just gonna pile out of this smoke and get the second entry, and that should do it for the round. So great entry from ScreaM. That's frequently where he succeeds against worse teams, and the fact that he can bring that against a team as strong as OpTic definitely helped them get through this European minor. So yeah, definitely one of the pros of having a ScreaM on your team is that he's going to win a lot of those duels early, and he doesn't get caught off guard by things, little cheeky boosts like that. His crosshair placement's really good. He's very aware. He doesn't cut corners, again, at least against teams that they should be. Sometimes he gets caught off guard by some of the things better teams do, but usually those involve more teamwork, such as like just a flash play or something like that. It's hard to play around that too much. That's why it was surprising in the other round when Alu was able to catch him off guard so easily, just playing the normal arch position. All right, final round of the half. So ScreaM has a pretty good scoreline here, 11-8, but he actually really turns up in the second half of this game, and really helps his team secure the dub. So yeah, spoiler alert, they do end up winning this. I think I already might have mentioned that they do win this 2-0. And I think it might be obvious by the fact that I'm going over ScreaM and not going over an OpTic player, given that I'm going over players that are actually going to the major. So the OpTic smoke there, and here is their standard B default. Again, look at the presence on the map here. I'm actually going to slow this down just a little bit so you can see where their map presence is. It's pretty obvious actually when EnvyUs goes for B control that they actually go, they send just way more people towards B. They threw, XMS is supporting them, Happy and Sixer just kind of holding this mid position. But yeah, ScreaM's going to be moving up through the smoke once again and just clearing out this banana area. And when they want banana control, they really go for it. They really just, they use a lot of resources and a lot of manpower there, and that's a way that they can definitely be abused if a team were to counter-strat them, but I'm not sure how deep OpTic's knowledge of the EnvyUs playbook might have been. And yeah, ScreaM's going to be entering out here. Gets taken down quite quickly, but usually the flashes from EnvyUs are actually better, I'd say better than that against most teams, and they're able to get their players into the bomb site rather well. But that's going to do it for ScreaM's first half. So, pistol round for ScreaM. Actually, let's go over some of the things on the T side for ScreaM. So, To start off, very aware in the default most of the time. I say when he got caught by Alu, I think it was a 5v3 at that point, and Alu was just kind of in a more forward position than ScreaM might have expected. Still would have preferred to see him jiggle there, but ScreaM actually doesn't really use jiggles as much as some other pros do. He's very willing to take the fights just head on, ready to peek, ready to just go to town with his one taps. So other than that, very much so an entry. You're not going to see him in the back lines a lot of the time, unless other players on his team get the kill and know that they can get map control or get to a bomb site, and ScreaM's just trying to work another bomb site per se. So other than that, pretty much, I mean, pretty strict rifler. I think everyone is aware of that. He will occasionally buy the op on some CT sides for particular maps. Actually, he does pick it up sometimes on Inferno for CT side, but definitely isn't going to pick it up on the T side. So on to the CT side now. Kind of playing an anti-flash position for a second there. Pretty common for people to just flash up by banking a flash off of one of the walls to his right here. And yeah, ScreaM aware of that. Just playing that anti-flash position. So yeah, now him and XMS are kind of pushed up. It's kind of interesting that XMS is taking the fights alone, as opposed to perhaps ScreaM doing it. But this makes EnvyUs believe that they can stack the A bomb site, and having no one in the site makes me believe that they kind of want to play this a little more retake style. But ScreaM with some kind of questionable movement there. He saw Magisk was in the apartments position, but kind of re-peeked him from the exact same angle multiple times. Kind of ashamed too, given that I think his team had like a 1v4 there, and they weren't able to close it out. And Magisk had a just insane clutch. But yep, that's gonna be the pistol round going the way of OpTic. So for spy round, ScreaM likes to get up close and personal with the CZ, and he actually is able to get a kill. Notice he doesn't overextend to try to get the ump or anything kind of silly, and just kind of books it away to survive with the 4v5 advantage, or 5v4 advantage. However, Happy gets taken out on the other side of the map, and now it's evened up. And they're actually deciding to stack the A bomb site, and that might be poor. It's kind of poor timing. I think HS was in the apartments right there and was able to see several of the rotators come over to the A bomb site, but we'll see if actually OpTic are able to play off of that information and go to the B bomb site. It looks like they're gearing up to go to that B bomb site, so I'm gonna have to see some rotates back coming from ScreaM. Alright, so this is going to be another important thing. How is ScreaM actually going to play around this smoke? A lot of players sometimes like to push through it, and ScreaM, being ScreaM, definitely likes to play more aggressive, and he's going to find a 3K in that round to put a real damper on OpTic's anti-eco. So, pretty good shots. So, as we can see there, ScreaM, knowing that his team's at a deficit, playing with a force buy, likes to take matters into his own hands, get that early CZ kill, rotate out quite a bit, and not going to wait for his team in that post-plant retake. He's actually just going to push the smoke, go for a couple kills, and that's something you can do pretty often when you know Inferno really well, is that spool smoke, coffin smoke, can actually be pretty easy to walk through. It kind of leaves that kind of bloom on the outer edge of it, that if you move to the right, you can actually strafe out of it without really being revealed by the rest of the banana. So they have to kind of be more in the bomb site to actually see you do that little strafe out there. So knows it's an anti-eco for him now, and he's going to play the range game with the ump. Not going to give an opening pickup too early, has the utility, but isn't afraid to get his hands dirty and push out a little bit, or peek just quite a bit, honestly. So bit off a little more than he can chew there, fighting against Magisk. A little surprising to me that he wasn't able to get the second kill, but his teammates are able to clean it up. Another anti-eco for him. Decides to buy the M4. He's going to have to buy a rifle in the next round anyways, so might as well just buy it here. Not really usually worth it to buy an SMG because it might just kind of tempt you to keep it into the upcoming round after this one, after winning this one. And that's not really something you want to do against AKs that are going to run in, have full armor, and just take advantage of the fact that you're using completely inferior weaponry. And that was a pretty bad smoke that actually he got pretty... It was pretty lucky that he even survived there. Yeah, really just likes to take the fight to them. So you can see with XMS that ScreaM and him are not afraid of fighting for banana control, especially on these anti-ecos here. So pretty action-packed game so far from ScreaM, actually. Has 18 kills already, and we're going to see more. We are going to see more, boys and girls. The fish are just glitching out like crazy there. I don't know if you guys were able to spot that. But, that was pretty crazy. The fish are just flying out of the fountain. And now ScreaM's going to go for another aggressive peek in the default here. Just looking over this smoke, and as you can see, a lot of oh my goodness. A lot of teams like to throw that kind of top banana smoke because it does use a lot of utility and take a lot of guts to get through it. So the way OpTic decided to play around it was very, very different than the way EnvyUs did. So EnvyUs, for example, when they see that top banana smoke, they like to throw that double molly setup that ScreaM and his teammate do to cover off sandbags and the top of banana. They like to flash through it and just try to take the fight. And it's usually just going to be one guy isolated on the side of the mollies, and they know that. So they can usually just clear him out, get a nice easy kill, take that top banana control. And here's ScreaM going to be against a full B exec. And despite getting completely smoked off, actually knows... Oh my god. Wow. That was like perfect timing, actually. But yeah, that's going to be probably it for this round. 2v4. Don't really see them going for this one. But ScreaM did his job there, for sure. If you're interested in playing the B bomb site, kind of, I'd say ScreaM kind of has freedom on CT side, but as an anchor or as a rotator, that's a great spot to play, for sure. The spools position allows you to just kind of peek out occasionally, playing a really nice headshot angle. If someone's not lined up on you, it's really hard for them to flick to your head or get that kill. And you're able to get guys just running straight at you usually. So, and especially if they're going to be running into the bomb site. The only problem with that spot, as we saw there, is that you're frequently going to get smoked off. It's pretty lucky that ScreaM was even able to get that one kill through the smoke. And his team wasn't really able to come through there. I don't know how Mixwell got all those kills. I think people were trying to run into the bomb site or perhaps peek over the smoke, and he was able to take them out. But ScreaM did his job really well there. Just getting a single kill, falling off, allows him to stay alive for the retake and be an entry, given his low HP. And also, obviously, getting that first kill really helps his team's chances of winning it. However, they were not able to. So, you're going to see another kind of just B setup, nade kind of play for him and XMS. Another flash lineup. He's got a lot of nice nade lineups. I don't know. He just completely shot XMS in the side there. Didn't get the assist on the kill, though. But, I'd say an interesting way to play it. Kind of unlucky that there was just that counter flash there. And ScreaM is just ready to take this fight to the opponents. Getting an insane 3-man spray down there. Pretty much perfect crosshair placement as he strafed out. That flash support that he got from Happy definitely did wonders there, as the first guy that he killed was completely blind, and then everyone just peeked into the exact same kind of shoulder peek position that ScreaM was already lined up for, and was just able to mow them all down. And that's a great way to bring it back and help his team secure the round. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be a reset on OpTic's economy. They had 3 alive, so could potentially force here. I guess we'll just see what OpTic end up doing, though. I don't think for certain you could say, as EnvyUs' standpoint, whether or not OpTic are going to be buying or saving. Having 3 alive in the previous round usually means that they are able to buy at least a little bit, but they're going to opt here to obviously save and go for the buy in the upcoming round. They bought a couple pistols here on the guys that did have money, and those guys would have been able to buy, but this is kind of playing it more like you kind of don't know exactly what their buy is for certain. You know it's not going to be a strong buy, if a buy at all, but there is potential here for an OpTic buy, so... At this point, though, ScreaM definitely knows what their guns are, and a great flashbang is going to set Sixer up to get that 3K. However, just kind of he sees the R8 and is just like, I'm not having any of that. So he's going to drop that for a deagle, and yeah, I wonder what he honestly was thinking or saying to his teammates there when he picked that up. But just good work from his A players there. But you are seeing that ScreaM is the A rotator, and that he does favor that position right there. It's a really strong spot to get up terrorists as they run out. When terrorists are running out, usually just going to strafe out, and they know that they have to kind of get over across here as soon as possible, because if anyone's in moto that's going to peek them, they can't really linger too long around that arch area. They can either move into it, or they have to just strafe across. Usually just kind of one peek, but you're not going to really get jiggled all too much there, unless the moto guy already died. So just a really strong spot in general. And he's going to be going to this aggressive spot in the default again, boosting over XMS's head, and just kind of playing the point man there, as XMS has boosted in this last couple times. And with all the action towards A, we're going to see ScreaM's actual rotation now on a real A hit. So it tries to get to moto. Kind of got stuck on a little wall there. And I think they're already calling for a save here, as 5v3 retake on the A-bomb side is just nearly impossible. You have to either have completely full utility or just really know that the OpTic players are really low HP. I guess we'll see where he likes to play to get exits here, given that he has enough money to buy into the next round, whether or not he dies. It's definitely within his best interest to try to hinder the OpTic economy as much as possible. So, yep, just going to be holding there. Pretty standard angle to hold from. Kind of an off angle, I'd say. Not like a hard... Not playing the hard right corner right here, but playing just more over here. And, yeah, just trying to catch people, and just something to know if you're ever a B rotator and you're just playing for exits. I don't think he has to strafe around this much, but looks like he's kind of they're already talking about the next round. Usually when you're just moving the keyboard, using the keyboard, and you're not really moving your mouse much, you're definitely going to be spending more time communicating. So that's going to be an EnvyUs timeout. Talk about what went wrong, what they need to change about their A setup. But so far, XMS and ScreaM have been playing B quite well. They lost one B round. They did lose one B round, gun round, but regardless of that, they've been doing what their job is at this B bomb site. So XMS here is lining up a flash. So this flash banks off of this second orange's position, flies over first orange's, and gives you a nice pop flash right here. It's pretty strong utility usage, especially if you have a guy in CT that you're setting up for this. He can kind of bait some looks out as XMS throws the flash, and as he throws the flash, ScreaM can just duck behind CT just briefly and then re-peek after the flash pops. So that's a nice little teamwork play that they have set up. But instead of going for that, looks like they know that if OpTic at this point are going to hit this bomb site, it's probably going to be for an exec. So setting ScreaM up in this boosted CT position, always really strong. One of the best ways to cover the B bomb site. And as long as you don't use it every single round, it's going to catch people off guard. As predictable as this spot is, it is just so powerful. And I think EnvyUs are already aware that this is an A hit, so again, we're going to see a rotation coming out. And with the amount of kills that they've already gotten, yep, should be a clean round for the French side. And he's able to even pick up an AK for his little walk there. And now OpTic are definitely feeling a little desperate. Notice that they are force buying into this round. EnvyUs should be aware of that possibility for Alive on the previous round win. It's definitely going to give OpTic more than enough money to buy it into this round. So again, this is kind of like their more standard play. Just kind of, they probably should know that it's a force buy. But after ScreaM hears that R8 shot, he gets a little antsy and actually wants to hold the angle for a little bit. I think that might have actually, hearing that R8 shot, he might have thought that it was kind of more of a pistol buy, and that might have baited him to peek there. So kind of getting into the mind of ScreaM. If he kind of knows that if he knows that the enemy has worse weaponry than he does, he is not afraid to take the fights, knowing that I mean, I would say, I don't know about you guys, I would say ScreaM probably has top 10 aim in the world. I'd say I don't think you could even easily say 9 players that have better aim than him, pure aimers. And yep, the power of the boosted position is gonna work its magic. I'm gonna show you guys XMS's point of view. So this is often a position that ScreaM would play as well, and given that ScreaM just kind of played his normal spot, we're going to watch a whole retake here, because EnvyUs have a really good procedure for retakes, even when they don't have utility. They are able to space out their members really well, usually, and get good information without really making it... they make it look good no matter what. So notice how they're able to just push up together. That might have been hard to see from XMS's point of view in particular, but the way they moved up together was they waited for this guy. He just sat here forever. He just waited, he waited, and he waited for his teammates to move through here, and through here, and through here. And once the banana player, or banana rotator, kind of made contact around here, then XMS knew it was his time to pinch right there. So he's going to be moving through construction with Sixer, while one player tries to move through CT, and they just pinch really just at the same time. They clearly have a really good set of procedures for retaking B when they have utility, when they don't have utility. If they have a man advantage, they are very consistently going to be winning that. And now OpTic are getting just completely desperate here. They know they have to buy, they know they have to try to win this round, to take this map, and EnvyUs is just going to take it to the fight to them, as they're just pushing everything. They're showing no respect on this round. They want to get this over with, get onto the next map, get to map 2. And they're just literally peeking everything, pushing everything at the same time. So that's going to be my ScreaM review, guys. But let's talk about a CT side just briefly before moving on. So CT side, very aggressive again. T side and CT side. This guy's one of the faster players that I think I'm going to review for this whole player analysis series. He really likes to take fights early. He's decently clutch, but he's not usually going to even find himself in clutch positions, because he's gonna take those early fights. He's gonna look for opening picks. He's gonna try to just make it a 5v4 as soon as he possibly can. And when ScreaM is able to take his aim against another professional player's aim, ScreaM is always confident, doesn't matter who it is, and he's actually usually victorious. So, as I said in another one of my videos, your ego can hurt you, but for ScreaM, it's something that really helps him and his EnvyUs squad. Finding those early picks, getting those early kills, getting those advantages, is allowing him to beat teams like OpTic, and it's actually able to help him beat teams even like G2 sometimes in qualifiers. And so yeah, that's my ScreaM review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to share this video with friends, family, whoever would be interested. And I'll see you guys next time.